Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to create some items to support fundraising for National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And to do that, I'm going to use epoxy resin and mica powder to create some stunning charms, magnets, key rings and little trinkets. So to get started, I'm going to mix up some resin. This is River Art Resin Fast Cure. It is a 2-to-1 epoxy resin, measurable by weight, and if you want to pause, you'll be able to read all of the details there, and I'll also link below how to get hold of it. So while I'm going ahead and working with the resin here, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and a very dear friend of mine who has been very closely impacted, unfortunately, by breast cancer in her life, losing her mother. She manages a local cafe called Ebb and Flow. Look how beautiful it is. It's right down on the beach and very popular. You go down of a morning and there's just people everywhere waiting for their beautiful coffees and things. So she and the owners and the team have organised quite a big fundraising effort this month, and they're donating some proceeds from selling coffees, they're running a raffle, and I thought I would really like to help. So I decided that I would make some things to give to her for her to hopefully be able to sell, with all of the funds raised going into their big donation. So that's what we're up to. So as you can see here, I'm getting out a whole lot of little molds. I've got some ribbon, awareness ribbon molds. I've got some dog and cat little tag molds. I've got, what else have I got? I've got balloon dogs and I've got some cat magnets. And I've mixed into the resin this most gorgeous fuchsia pink mica powder because pink is traditionally the colour that is associated with breast cancer awareness. And yeah, I wanted everything just to be as pink as could be. So while I'm pouring these, I'll tell you a little bit more about the breast cancer research in Australia. So in Australia, we have the National Breast Cancer Foundation. I'm sure whatever part of the world you're in, you would have a similar organisation, and this is their website. And their vision is to work towards 0 deaths from breast cancer. And they say the only way to stop deaths from breast cancer is by funding research to improve the understanding of breast cancer, how it originates, how it grows, how it spreads, and they want to just stop it in its tracks. So a very, very worthwhile organisation to raise funds for and donate to. And even in just my lifetime, I have seen so many huge leaps in treatment and prognosis, and the availability of screening, mammograms. It's fantastic. So I'm really happy to support this cause. I did know my dear friend's mother, and I think just watching a very good friend lose someone like that, it really just makes you feel grateful for the opportunity to raise awareness. And yeah, let's get rid of this thing. Let's just end it. So back on to what we're doing today. So I'm taking my time filling these small molds. They are quite intricate, especially when they've got the little tails and the ears and things like that. And we want to make sure that we allow the resin to self-level where possible, but every now and then I do have to give it a little bit of a move along and to make sure that it does travel into those other areas. Now, I wish I had had dog magnets as well, because Ebb and Flow Cafe is pretty famous with dog lovers. It is right on beautiful Kingston Beach, and Kingston Beach is just a gorgeous, spectacular beach in Tasmania, and quite a large chunk of it is dedicated as a dog beach, which is brilliant, an off-lead dog area, with the stipulation being you must be in control of your dog at all times. So, of course, if you've got an uncontrollable wild child, you have them on a leash if they're a dog. So it is extremely joyful to go down to the beach to see these dogs swimming and running and playing. There's a river, Browns River, that ends up in the ocean there, and the dogs play in the river as well. And then, of course, when they have finished, they and their mummies and daddies can walk along the front of the beach and go to Ebb and Flow for a lovely coffee and a treat. And so, yes, as I said, it is very popular with doggy people. So I wish I had more dog things. But anyway, look, I'm just doing the best with what I've got. So hopefully there's, pet lovers are pet lovers, aren't they? There's a fairly good chance quite a few of them have got cats as well. So I've finished off the little dog and cat moulds. These are the ones that they have the little hole in them, and I'm going to be using those for charms. So charms that you can attach to a phone or a bag or something like that. And you'll notice I have actually overfilled a couple of those. So I'm going to use a technique that I learnt from Julie Cuts with Pouring Your Heart Out. And I'm going to use some paper towel or tissues to just gently touch the surface, and that will blot up some of the excess resin, and then that's a really good way of dealing with it. Some people like to use a pipette or a syringe and just draw some out as well. So there's a couple of options there for you. And I have given them a quick squirt with isopropyl alcohol, 99%, and I will continue to do so. This resin, River Art resin Fast Cure, is an incredibly clear resin. It is quite low bubble as well, and a pleasure to work with. So I don't really have a lot of problems with bubbles with this. So now I'm going to go ahead and pour the magnet moulds, and these are ones without the little holes in them. I think I've said before, if I had my way, all moulds would have no holes in them, apart from the joining earring ones with the 2 holes. They're really handy. And I've also done those ribbon awareness moulds already there too. As I was researching for this video, I found some very sobering and interesting facts about breast cancer on the Foundation's site, and we often just think it's a women's issue, breast cancer, but every year over 21,000 people in Australia will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and that includes around 200 men. And they say that every day 58 people in Australia will be diagnosed with breast cancer. So it is a huge issue, and there is almost no way you could get through life without being affected, either yourself or someone close to you that you love. Now, this video isn't about my personal experiences with family and friends. However, I will just say that I do have friends who are currently going through treatment or who are in recovery, but still with that previous diagnosis hanging over their head. And I have personally lost family members to breast cancer. So it really is something that is unfortunately at the moment unavoidable. We need to talk more about it. We need to not shy away from talking about it. And in particular, we need to make sure that everyone, including men, know how to check for symptoms and how to get to support if they find anything that doesn't feel quite right. Now, look at me go squeezing this little doggy. You won't believe what I do in a moment though. Oh, just the thought of it's making me feel a bit anxious reliving it. So these little balloon dog moulds are super cute, and I had the loveliest thing happen the other day. My sister was over recently from Victoria, and she is a teacher librarian, and she saw some of my little balloon dogs, and I offered them, I wanted to have things I've made. I love that. And she said that she would take some to put in the library. And then the other day, out of the blue, I got a phone call from her saying that she was so excited to tell me that she just had a class in, and they just went crazy over my balloon dogs, sorry. And I gave her a mummy and a daddy and a baby in different colours, and yeah, they really loved it. So that made me so happy to think that something I made makes other people happy. They're kind of a goofy little thing, aren't they, balloon dogs? Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, boy. That's not the first time I've done that with that mould either. That's what gets to me. But anyway, you might have noticed as that knocked over, I've actually put a little bit of tape on the top of the balloon dog moulds. And the reason for that is that I'm trying to keep that little piece between their legs as thin as possible. So, yeah. Oh, should I have cut this out? I guess we all go through it. It's pretty annoying, but especially as I like to try and work in a really clean and precise manner, because I intensely dislike sanding and filing and things like that. So, yeah, this kind of really got on my nerves. But anyway, there's no point crying over spilt resin. To co-op, I say, and I just go ahead and I use the tissues and paper towel to remove excess from each of the little moulds. And to be honest, because I'm working on a silicone mat and I'm also working on the T-Expert levelling table, everything just works out fine in the end. So I'm not going to moan too much about it. But I did get my balloon dogs done, and I do actually top them up a little bit. And I've also got in the background a couple of little bird moulds as well that I'm going to use. So after a few hours, these are cured and ready to go. I did use my Estelio resin heating mat and covered them up, and so they do cure really well. I'm going to speed up this demoulding, mainly because there are just so many pieces, and you'll get to see me working on them again in a minute. I'm really happy with how they came out, and they're demoulding beautifully. And even though I had overfilled a couple of them, using that technique I mentioned, I was able to get them back level again, and almost no cleaning up really, which was great. So we've got all of our little pussycats and puppy dogs there ready for the being turned into little charms. And there's a couple of the ribbon awareness moulds there that I'm just, as I'm going, I'm just using a deburring tool just to get off any teeny little bits of overflow there. And I ended up doing 2 sets of the cat fridge magnet moulds, and so there's 8 of those in total, 2 of each style. And I'll go ahead and demould the rest of those now. Looking good. This is one of the little bird moulds, and like I do have a bit of an issue demoulding 3D moulds, so can be a bit tricky, but anyway, they came out quite pretty. And then we start demoulding the little balloon dogs, and they're looking cute. Putting that little bit of tape across the top does seem to work quite well. If anyone else has got these moulds though and has come up with a better solution, just leave me a comment. I'd love to know. So it would be very helpful. But no, they look so pretty. The balloon dogs they sort of just very glossy and just something very quirky and unique about them. Very happy with them. And just going through and getting rid of any little sharp edges on the bottom, just using the deburring tool there. And then I've got, I didn't show pouring, but I did have a little bit of resin left over, and so there's a couple of little hearts there which came from the ribbon awareness moulds, and then also just a couple of little pieces that were from one of the little heart moulds that I got from Kmart recently, the Anko heart mould. And yes, so the last few little pieces of resin went into that mould, which gave me a couple of little extra pieces there. So I think I've ended up, we ended up with 40 something pieces in all, which is really great. There's some that you don't see here. So, this is the little bear with a heart mould. I started that off the other day with some other pink and topped him up. Just got to squeeze him. Oh yeah, look at that. I shot. Oh gosh, sometimes watching myself back's a bit of a worry, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, so he looked really super handsome too. And I think I've got 2 or 3 of the balloon dog moulds now, large, and then one baby one, which was really cute. So after demoulding all of these pieces, I sorted them out into their different categories, and then I was able to start turning the pieces that were going to be magnets into magnets. So I've got those 8 cats here, and I'm using E6000 glue, which is fantastic for working with magnets and resin. And I'm just using a toothpick there to apply a little to the back. I'm sorry I'm a bit out of video shot there. I don't know what I was thinking or doing. Yes, so just applying the magnets there. They don't take very long for the glue to cure and harden, probably an hour or 2, and they're very secure and done. I'm always looking for new supplies for magnets, so if anyone has any great leads for good quality magnets to use, please leave me a comment. I would love that. Okay, next up are our pieces that are going to be used for keychains. Now that one that I first touched, I didn't like it. It had funny edges, so it's gone off, thrown into the corner. That'll go into my resin pieces file, which I can go ahead and use into larger pieces in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm just attaching the keys through the keyring piece, through the split ring. Then I'm attaching the resin piece, and then I thought it would look really pretty if I popped one of these little heart charms on as well, and then just wind that split chain all around, and then there you have the little piece. So that's ready for someone to pop onto their keyring, nice and secure. And then I can go ahead and work on all of the other pieces. And these little keychains can, as I said, be used. They can attach to an existing keyring, or you can just pop your keys on there, and they just look super pretty. And I think it's a nice thing for people to be able to buy, just to show that they support breast cancer awareness, or it may also serve as a reminder for a loved one that is either going through breast cancer experience, or who they've lost to breast cancer. Now, these bigger ones, I did think about swapping the charms up with bigger hearts, but as soon as I did it, I was like, no. So because these larger ribbons are much thicker, I need to swap over to a larger split ring, and that's also handy if people wanted to attach other things to it as well. I was really happy with how these came out. I probably should order some more of these ribbon awareness moulds, because they do come out really pretty, and just a nice thing to have for a fundraiser. So after I've finished those, it is now time to turn my attention to the little cats and dogs and a couple of little hearts that are going to be charms. And so I need to choose some jump rings that are going to be both strong enough, but also have the right diameter to work with these little resin pieces. And I end up choosing a 7mm jump ring. And if you would like to know more about jewellery making, I've got quite a few videos now where I've put together earrings and other jewellery pieces. And you can always leave a comment as well. I'm happy to do more videos on any techniques you'd like. Now, these little ones, I decided to add some teeny little star charms too. And these were just some tiny little charms that I got from, I think, AliExpress a couple of years ago. And I never really had anything that they would work with. And then I thought, oh, kind of like, the girl with the pearl earring. These are like the cats with the star earring. But I ended up deciding to redo them so that they had one front and back. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do here now. I will go ahead and speed this up because there are quite a few of these. These ended up just working out super cute. The little charm, they're like a mini lanyard, and these ones were just from Temu. They are in a silver tone, but the cords come in all different colours. So I've got some hot pink and some black and some light pink, and cats and dogs, so something for everybody. And just while I'm finished these pieces off, I just wanted to mention something else which has come from the National Breast Cancer Foundation site. They talk about the survival rate of breast cancer, and it has increased, which is amazing, but we want to keep increasing that. We want to increase it to the point that there just are no deaths anymore. And they do rely entirely on donations from the community to fund breast cancer research, and by donating to these sort of organisations, they are able to invest in prevention and detection programs, treatment, and I believe that these organisations also share information all around the world, and you know, the goal is to try and detect. I don't think we can ever get rid of it, but we can detect and treat earlier and more successfully. And so, how wonderful would that be if in 5 or 10 years' time, a diagnosis of breast cancer is, you know, something, it's still terrible, but through to this amazing research and treatment diagnosis, we can have a positive outcome at the end of it. So, I'm so grateful for you watching this video, and I'm so proud of my friend for organising this fundraiser. She's an amazing person, and I think the fact that she commemorates her mother in this way and keeps her legacy alive is extremely inspirational. I'm going to show you some photos at the end of the finished products, and I will put links to everything in the description box below. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving me a like. I'd love if you subscribed. Always welcome to leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.